Hello everyone. Today I'm at the Loudoun House, home of the Lexington Art League, and it's a beautiful day here in the Bluegrass. I'm going to look at and talk about Recreation, a solo exhibition spanning 30 years of work by Lexington artist Stacey Chinn. Her sculptures, paintings, and mixed media works incorporate ceramics, fiber, wood, metal, and found objects. Stacey considers herself a Jill of all trades. Many of the pieces have been reworked over the years to reflect her changing mindset and her environment. She considers her work to be living beings that are moving along with her as she develops as a person. Each is connected by a renewed sense of purpose, perspective, and identity. So let's take a look at some of her pieces and get to know them. Becoming is the title of the first work you see when entering the gallery. It's straight ahead on the far wall and very arresting. It's made of porcelain, wood, and rope. A face, half covered in gold, is mounted on a white box, out of which long horns extend. The box shape is supported by a sturdy stick, and rope is twisted and looped throughout. What to make of this puzzling piece? This is one of several works where the artist examines identity as something that isn't fixed or constrained, but exists somewhere between human, animal, and spiritual presence. The rope suggests both connection and restraint, and like many of the pieces in this show, it exists in transition. The title, Becoming, indicates the ongoing process of self-transformation. Close by and on a pedestal is a piece called Rock Bottom. It's a small model of a house that the artist has recreated from the floor plan of her childhood home. It's made out of popsicle sticks and tongue depressors and is perched on top of a rugged block of cast concrete. The house is precariously balanced, and there are signs of it beginning to crumble with popsicle particles strewn around the base. This is a very personal piece for the artist. A DNA test taken out of curiosity revealed some unexpected results about her biological origins. When you know the backstory to this piece, it immediately becomes clear. This house is shown upended, falling apart, and the foundations are unstable. It's a piece that reflects on the destabilization of identity and the fragile foundations on which we build our understanding of self. But without this missing information, it might be hard to grasp the meaning. Conceptual art is hard to understand, as so much of it is inspired by the experiences and thoughts felt and known only to the artist. But if you can find a way to break in and interpret the narrative, then a much deeper and richer appreciation is waiting for you. Or, alternatively, you're probably doomed to stand and just scratch your head. And here's a definite head-scratcher. You are what you create, a self-fulfilling prophecy. 2 porcelain arms covered with written symbols and draped in handmade chainmail. Well, here's the inside story. The year Stacey left for graduate school to pursue her MFA, she was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis and told she most likely would no longer be able to make art. So this piece, cast from her own arms and marked with medical diagnostic codes, is a testament to the cost of her endurance. More than 30 years later, the repetitive and labor-intensive processes central to her practice continue to leave visible traces on her body, particularly her hands. This work exists within that middle space, somewhere between deterioration and persistence, and it asks what it means when the thing that sustains you also contributes to your detriment, while survival becomes an act of refusing to stop. It becomes a pretty powerful piece when you know all this about it. Now this piece, titled Reassigned, isn't quite so baffling. The title helps a little bit. And this circle of acrylic-painted steel balls, each sporting a variety of colored baby beanies, is kind of cute at first pass. But here, Stacey is confronting the issue of identity, suggesting that long before we can define it for ourselves, we are in fact already typecast. Pink beanies, blue beanies, neutral beanies, and rainbow beanies are all obvious references to gender. But overall, this work questions the systems and assumptions used to categorize people from birth, while a person's identity may well shift or evolve or be reassigned over time, and leave people feeling they've been mislabeled from the very beginning. This next piece is probably my favorite in the show. Titled Tools of the Trade, it's an old, worn leather tool belt. I have to think Stacey had fun deciding what to pack it with. On one end hangs a beautiful white porcelain hammer, but on the other, upended and not necessarily immediately obvious, is a tampon. Then a delicate crochet hook sharing a pocket with a nail, also in porcelain, and juxtaposed and tucked into the opposite pocket is a heavy-duty utility knife, while a pair of handcuffs dangle from a belt loop. I nearly missed peering into the sagging pocket. It's filled with hundreds of porcelain pills. Are they Valium, birth control, or some other prescription? This piece addresses the uneven responsibilities and expectations tied to female gender liberation, as well as the societal imbalance that still exists and the invisible labor often expected of women. These fragile porcelain forms become stand-ins for the emotional, physical, and psychological equipment that people have to carry in order to endure, adapt, protect, and survive. This is a strong statement piece, and the message is loud and clear. This last piece I'm going to look at makes a political statement. Give Me Liberty is of the Statue of Liberty that the artist has embroidered into an old military stretcher. Except the figure is simultaneously unfinished and unraveling, with threads hanging loose and limp. Stacey considers this to be a piece that reflects her own growing unease with the current state of America and the erosion of the ideals this nation once claimed to uphold. No hidden meanings in this work. There are a total of 23 pieces in this show. Each is an invitation to engage and look beyond the physical form and think about the deeper meaning within the work. Examine your own thoughts and reactions to them. The human condition is pretty universal, and in each piece, Stacey has remade herself and found the courage to move forward. This show is at the Loudoun House in Lexington until the 17th of July, and not to be missed. Thank you for joining me.